One second, though. I'm gonna get something pulled up real fast as well. All right, all right. One second, Noble. Let's get it. We can get it started whenever you're ready.
Long.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm a spirit speaking, heart beating, I'm speaking seeds, sowing, harvesting, man with the music. I have yet to leave, I'm still breathing. To quit, I have no reason. I'm asleep, but I be trying to live my dream. I cannot even act if it's all easy. Either you gon' do it or you don't really. It ain't no in between, baby. You can ask the sun, it's an everyday thing. Consistency in your routine is how you bring reality. Working like a slave, that's how I made this masterpiece. Living like a god, I lay at night, I rest in peace. They remember me, but I am not around the beat.
.com, that's books with a Z.
Peace and love, family. Once again, this broadcast is brought to you by mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z, where reading funds the mental. Also brought to you by finditbooks.com, where treasures are bound. Be sure to check out Mayat Son's Teas, Divinely Prepared, the Tea of Teas at herbsmayat.com. Be sure to check out all of those musical stylings by BH Bay Music at bhbay.com. And for your everyday items and religious regalia, be sure to check out MorrisHaberdasher.com. And for that everyday especial Morris drip, be sure to check out Morrisach.com. And all of these companies are powered by ALO Design Pros. Design your online business strategy today. And without further ado, we introduce to you Sheik Kari Goodman Bay.
Peace, tribe. How y'all doing today?
Peace, Sheik. Peace.
Peace, Sheik.
Peace, Noble Dantes. Peace, Brian. Peace, brothers. Hope y'all having an amazing day today. Peace, Noble Alonzo. Peace, my brother.
Peace.
Always a good day, man.
Peace.
It's always a good day. We're going to have a good conversation today, man. And, and like I said, this is what we're here for at the DAP class. We're not here to convert no one. We're here to show, science and just give you a different perspective that kind of illuminate, man, all man, but especially the misnomer black man. Show you that you have the right to be who you are. Show you science. Show you some of the great things that you have done. It's not to put anyone down, but when a lot of people talking about color don't matter, man, that it does. Because if color didn't matter, why the copper color was always, how can I say, put in a perspective where you want a contributor to the world. And it just wasn't like, it's just not like that. Even in book reading yesterday, when Noble Mufti Minister Gregory Mosel El eloquently broke down and gave people an introduction of scholarship from no disrespect, where he was talking about they were white and they were slaves and white cargo and just the history of these things to see with your own eye. History is not prejudice. These things can be prejudice if it's there, if it's recorded. And that's what we're here. We are school. We're here to resurrect ourselves in truth and in honor. Yes, you have some people doing things wrong and this and that and picking that and this. But we have a right to be who we are. And that's just point blank. So
Islam.
I want to give an introduction of the science and just give you a preface of, and we're going to go through this because we're going to dissect some things. And remember, when we're here, this is a lecture. This is a speaking. So we're here to use what we can use. What we don't agree on, we can have discussion on those topics. But see, when we're talking about a people and a group of people in the body dealing with science, you have to know how to use the tools and the crafts. We're talking about science. We're not talking about gravitating to one science or one craft where we miss the essence of the rest, because that's not the science that we're under. Islam?
Islam.
I just want to be clear. When we're speaking, we're not here to disrespect no one. We're here to make a statement, to show you what is right. And no one's going to speak for myself or my brothers or you. So this is the introduction. Shortly before completing my doctoral dissertation, I envisioned assembling a book of information that could change the world. And if not change the world, change a community. And if not change a community, change a mind. If you learn something, anything from this text, then it was worth it. This anthology is simply a collection of essays from individuals who know how to keep it simple and teach it real. The purpose of this work is to enlighten original people from here in Atlanta, Georgia, to as far as this book will make it. If you're not sure about whether you're the type of individual who would benefit from reading this anthology, I'll give you a few hints on how to tell. This book is meant for you if, 1, you've always been intelligent, but hated school because they only teach BS. You've questioned your religion or abandoned it altogether because it didn't make any sense. You see the injustice and wrongs going on all around you, and it's driving you nuts. You want to change something in the world or in yourself, but haven't figured out how. You know you're not just another NIGGA. You're trying to turn your life around, but without church or the military. You're not waiting on Jesus to come back and save you. You wonder why other people are such followers and hypocrites. You know there is more to life than this. You're always questioning things. If you answer yeah to any of these questions, then do yourself a favor and read this from cover to cover. If nothing in here sparks your mind, because that's what we're here to do, either you know it already or you're brain dead. More likely, though, you're going to want to seriously pursue getting the knowledge of self after you read this wisdom. These essays are a reflection of what we teach. The authors are representations of what our culture produces. In this culture, everyone from the teenagers to the college students to the drug dealers and the killers become God. Sure, it takes time. But if you've ever met a true and living God, you know how this ain't no game, y'all. We don't produce no suckers or no fruitcakes per se. We produce strong, intelligent, dedicated men and righteous, sincere, beautiful women. Be one. If you answer yes to this items above, it's already you anyway. And finally, the life-giving teachings of how they teach this perspective in the nations of gods and earth, but this is just science. This is just one science, especially if we're dealing with the triple roles. This is just one plethora of science. When I talk about wisdom and I say, oh, so we just going to play Crips and Bloods and we're not going to assume the wisdom in all teachings. That's what we got to do. This is the uniting. This is what this time for. This is a uniting. So when they say the gods of nations, I get that. I understand that this is a nation of gods on earth. I get that. We all should get that. That's why this is a uniting. This is what the prophet did. from two mediums. One, from the mouths of actual gods and earth themselves. And two, in our lessons. If you want to seriously undertake the study of yourself and the world as it really is, contact the gods, you know? And this more science. Man, the closest place to find Allah is where, y'all?
In the heart.
So what's the difference from the gods of the earth? See, this is what I've been trying to tell brothers. I say your science ain't no different. Look at your symbology. You're not seeing, look at the gods of earth symbology. When I be telling these brothers, I said, man, we got to stop with this set tripping stuff. We got to stop with this Crips and blood, this power. I done showed y'all that. I done showed y'all where the Al Rukins, I done showed y'all where they all went wrong. I done showed y'all that a plethora of times. It's on us. This is what it's about. I want to jump around a little bit, but I'm going to use the proper word in more science. But look, this is what they say in the science. I'm gonna say, I don't like to say black because we know according to science and law, black means death. But the Asiatic people are original people of the planet Earth. No biasness from no one else. No biasness. But if a person gonna say you a slave and accept all that, you have to be able to tell a different story and prove from scholarship. The Asiatic people are the fathers and mothers of civilization. That the science of the supreme mathematics is the key to understanding man's relationship to the universe. We know supreme mathematics. We should know that. That's more science. Watch, we're going to break this down. It's going to be beautiful. This is going to be a beautiful demonstration. There's no hate, but you can see the science. We're not gravitating to no one religion. We're taking the science. That's more science. The education should be fashioned to enable us to be self-sufficient as a people. That each one should teach one according to knowledge. That the Asiatic man is God and his proper name is Allah, arm, leg, arm, head. That our children are our link to the future and they must be nurtured, respected, loved, protected, and educated. That the unified Asiatic family is a vital building block of the nation. Do y'all agree with that, brothers and sisters?
I agree.
Okay.
Islam, one nationality, many cultures.
Yes. Islam, because we can even get biblical and get to the other book. Is talk about the black man, but the misnomer black man, the father of civilization, proven by biblical history alone. So if anybody want to talk that, well, the Bible is, we can jump in the Bible and we can give it to you just how it is, from no biasness. Well, if color didn't matter, well, why would we whitewashing history if color didn't matter? What are you talking about? What are we talking about? Why we just didn't tell it how it is? Why we just didn't tell it how some of the first century writers tell it how it was then? It was a small few of first century Albions, European Trelodites that wrote how it was if color didn't matter. Islam?
Islam.
No disrespect to no one. No disrespect. I'm gonna jump around a little bit because I want to get to some importance of this, and I'll tell you where we start at. So when we talking about just like the biblical book, the black man, the Asiatic man, the father of civilization, proven by biblical history, in this science, it's very simple to research this. But I like to give a little introduction because we got time, and nobles, y'all can stop me wherever you want and inject anything you want, But the misnomer black man, the Asiatic man, is the original man. And it's no disrespect to no one. I like to say this again. It's important that we first establish that the Asiatic man is the first man, the original man. Several major anthropological studies have documented this widely accepted fact. All people descend from him, either naturally or unnaturally. Europeans have even created fake fossils like the Piltdown man to try to discredit and distort the origins of humanity and place the first man in Europe. The earliest fossils of man have been found in South Africa and East Africa. Further information can be found in The African Origin of Civilization by Sheikh Anta Diop. Forbidden Archaeology, The Hidden History of the Human Race by Michael Cremo contains a wealth of evidence detailing the earliest existence of highly advanced humans throughout the world, far predating even the earliest accepted date of 3 million years ago. Original means the origin of all that follows, and stating that the Asiatic man is the original man. of the references that appear in the following pages referring to man can be understood to refer to the archetype of man himself, the Asiatic man. Some authors have advocated that the true human is the human or the man of color, and the mankind refers to a kind of man that followed. The Asiatic man is the father of civilization. Blacks developed the first civilization. Throughout the ancient and prehistoric world, Asiatics have been, excuse me, I don't want to say blacks, I'm replacing black with Asiatics. Asiatics have been the founders of all known civilizations. Examples include the first dynasties of ancient China, the pre-Hellenic, Minoan, and the Mycenaean civilizations, which birthed ancient Greece and Rome, the ancient Egyptians, of course, the pre-Semitic Chaldeans, Babylonians, Sumerians, and other Middle Eastern neighborhoods, the Kushites and other obviously Asiatic civilizations in the continent known as Africa, the Olmecs, the early Mayans, and other Asiatic pre-Columbian civilizations of the Americas, including the Asiatic Indians Columbus met upon his initial voyage. Get to 1828 Webster's Dictionary and tell me what you see what an American is. Anybody? See, we're not here. Thank you.
I don't hear about a European.
I don't hear about a European.
So you can't find something that was already here. This is they were here on the land. So we're not here to be disrespectful, and we're not going to allow nobody to be disrespectful on us when we having a conversation. Not on social media. The ancient Asiatic civilization of the Indus River Valley in India and the Asiatic civilizations of ancient Europe. Evidence of these claims can be found in African presence in early Asia, edited by Runoko Rashidi. African presence in early Europe, African presence in early America, and they came before Columbus by Ivan van Sertima, and the African origin of civilization by Sheikh Anta Diop. And further evidence can be found on numerous articles available on the internet, authored by Clyde Ahmad Winters or Ranuku Rashidi. Much of this information and more should also be available on different websites and different information, but I have all the books for you. You don't have to go nowhere. Your source is right here. The Asiatic man is the source of the world's learning until the contemporary attempts by Europeans to discredit the capabilities of blacks. Y'all got to remember at one point in history, they thought the misnomer black man couldn't even think of good enough to be a quarterback. But my man Doug Williams proved that wrong, didn't he? For the Redskins, didn't he? Didn't he?
Come on with it.
All right. Okay. Talk to me. The Asiatic man has been regarded as surpassing all people and nations in his wisdom and intellect. Visitors from far off land study among the Asiatic teachers of ancient Egypt in the mystery schools. Socrates and other Greeks, regarded as fathers of European philosophy, were trained at these schools by Asiatics. You remember Socrates and Plato, Aristotle, the book Stolen Legacy. It'll tell you where the wisdom came from. George G.M. James told you it's all stolen legacy. Greek history is nothing but stolen Egyptian history. It ain't no secret. There's no slander to no one. If you don't understand that, then you teaching propaganda. No disrespect to no one. It's not. It's not. And I understand. We understand what Eurocentric and Negrocentric propaganda is on both sides. We understand. We clear on that. You know, but not having met the true and living God himself, appeared disgruntled with the human flaws of the otherwise supreme Greek gods. The Greeks were, until the era of Plato, still praising and worshiping the Asiatic men of Egypt. These facts are documented in George G.M. James' Stolen Legacy and Martin Burnell's Black Athena. Examples include Zeus and Hercules, who were molded after Osiris and Horus, and the Asiatic god Imhotep, who is revered in the primary creed of medicine, the Hippocratic Oath. Like Malik was saying early in working out, the Hippocratic Oath, Hippocrat, because the first sentence, it contradicts everything that the oath is talking about. Think about it. Wrap your mind around it. The Asiatic individual were not mythical figures, but historical men of note. After Plato, the ideal of a transcendent, immaterial deity became popular. This is known as Neoplatonic thought. Most of the religious traditions of this region, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, triple rows, were influenced heavily by this way of thinking. See, that's why we can't be biased. That's why we're not going to tolerate no disrespect, because we understand when a person is coming, we hear you, but we're going to give it the right way. We're not going to let nobody tell us who we are. We're not going to accept nobody else's perspective. Why should we? Why? I'm not no slave. I'm not no Negro, black, color, African American. I'm not none of that. I can speak for myself. Oh, you afraid to say that, oh, he's being aggressive? No, he not. Oh, soon as a couple more months, you're going to have this fake black history, and the laws tell you that you're not Negro, black, and color, but Negroes choose to be that. That's your choice. From a lack of understanding. You can't be a child of the Creator when you were a slave. The Creator didn't create no slaves. Other examples of Asiatic man's reputation as the source of the wisdom of sages are the famed library of Alexandria in Egypt, burned by Europeans, and the universities of Timbuktu. Also important is the learning of the Black Moors, who ruled Spain for 700 years, 1711 to 1492 AD, and taught the Europeans much of what they know now. It was in fact the Moors who brought the Europeans out of the Dark Ages. We were never in no Dark Ages. We always had a golden age. We always had a golden age. I was watching a video the other day how a lot of the brothers in the continent of Africa, and when you need water, nobles, one of the brothers, he captured a monkey. What he did, he put it was some type of monkey. I don't know the proper type of monkey, but anyway, he put these little seeds. Be quiet, babe. He put these little seeds in this little hole, right, for the monkey can put his hand in there. But when the monkey put his hand in there, and when he closed it, the hole was too small for him to pull it out. So the brother, the hunter, he went and got the monkey, tied the monkey up to a tree, and then fed it salt. You know, because when you feed the monkey that monkey salt, he's going to lead you to the hidden water source, because, you know, it was a water shortage. And when he did that, he let the monkey go. The monkey went right to a hidden source of water in a cave. Do y'all understand how brilliant the mind is at understanding nature? Do y'all hear me?
It's wrong.
I'm just showing you how brilliant the mind is when it puts you in, when a creator puts you in a certain area, and off the top, it's going to show you how to survive. That's brilliant.
It's wrong.
And most of what we brought Europeans out of caves to teach and civilize them some thousands of years ago. This not bias. Man, they be saying, I be laughing at misnomer black people when they argue, no disrespect, with Europeans or trailer dykes. Talk about, oh, this, not the other. And they the ones say that they a caveman. I don't have no history being in no cave. What are you talking about? So why are you going to argue? Do you think anybody that say their history is from a cave can even have a conversation with you, and you have a certain type of wisdom from the womb? Why would you argue with a caveman? I'll wait. No disrespect. Are you listening?
It's wrong.
It's no disrespect to no one. Or they say you're NIWGA, I'm telling you, well, okay, we're anti-Semitic then. The same way a European Jew would say it, because I ain't no NIGGA. Now what? Now what? Oh, no, I'm not.
The likeness and image of God.
Come on, noble Dantes. That's right.
It's wrong.
For real. And we should stand strong on that. Books on these topics include Ivan Van Sertima, The Golden Age of the Moor, Paul Lawrence, Gertrude's Making of the White Man. No disrespect to no one. It's no disrespect. They always try to discredit our own, and we'll discredit our own. But when you sit down and do the research, man, your research and your scholars are light years away from anybody that could come with that stuff. It's already been documented. It's already been debated upon. This has been proven. We digressed. You are supreme in certain things. I'm not saying you better than no one. I'm showing you what you are. You're not a slave. I'm showing you you can't be. You might have digressed. You might have accepted some things and in your mind forgot who you were and been influenced from this or that, but you damn sure weren't created that way. I'm trying to resurrect you. We're not belittling no one. How are we belittling someone when we're talking about the abilities that we have? I'm not saying you better than me, because you can do it too. If you understand who you are, that's the power that the Creator do for all men. I don't care how much money you got. You understand what I'm saying? All living matter is subservient to the Asiatic rules, given the premise of Darwin's theories. Think about it. Regarding the survival of species, it's evident that all life until this point has accumulated in the development of the supreme Asiatic man, beginning with the simplest one-cell organism. All living things are bound to the universal law of mathematics, that language in which God, as the creator, wrote the universe, and in which God, as man, speaks and lives. I'm not here to argue with no one. I'm not here to debate with no one to say, well, my theory is this. Okay, that's yours. That's great. That's great. Peace be among you, my brother. Peace and love. But we're going to keep it pushing. We don't have to accept disrespect. Don't nobody have to tell you who you are. All your babies, you should tell them. You should stand proud. And until that happens, it's a wrap. You have something inside of you. You have a gene. Unbiased human biology. Textbooks will explain this assertion and this assertion in detail. When we talk about your genetic legacy, even after generations of imposed mixing or grafting per se, it's proven you physically superior. Anyone of contemporary sports can testify to this fact. It's no disrespect, but we always say you some Greek god. Why you a Greek god? If you're gonna get with the ancientness, but you ain't going ancient. Why you not an Egyptian god? Why you not an Egyptian god? Because they just told you, George G. M. James told you, it's stolen legacy. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't hear me. God, upon designing a home for himself, the universe, and specifically the earth, chose a supreme vehicle in which to inhabit in. Although flesh, the Asiatic man's physical body, was designed to be the original and greatest form possible. This is where the phrase, the physique of a Greek god, came from. Keep in mind that the true Greek gods were the Asiatic men of Egypt. See, these is facts. We're not here to argue or belittle no one. Why? I'm showing you the greatness that you have. You're gonna let somebody talk about this small tittle history of slavery. Well, then let's go all the way back and talk about all parts of chattel slavery. Let's go deep, where it showed that the European was in so-called slavery too. No disrespect to no one. Let's deal with it. And they don't, so we're not gonna bury history. We want to show the greatness. The supreme being suggests two things. One, that God is supreme, and the other, that he is actually a being that exists in terms of beings that we can actually validate and verify. The Asiatic man has never heard, seen, felt, taste, or smelled anything greater than himself. Think about this, my brothers and sisters. Why? Because man was made in the image of the creator. We're not, man, y'all better get into this science. You have to. Brian already told you. How you gonna love something that you don't love yourself?
Islam.
There are things that exist that are unseen. They can be verified, even measured. Watch this, Brian. We cannot see the temperature or the wind, but there are scientific instruments we can use to document their actual existence. Am I right about what I'm saying, Noble Brian?
Absolutely correct.
I just want to make sure I'm correct. On the other hand, an unreal God is ascribed as the cause of very real circumstances. And this defies the laws of cause and effect. When we talk about the 7 Kemetic principles, see, nobody don't have to agree with no religion and all that. We have to agree with principles. Are you down with the 7 Kemetic principles? No, I ain't down with the 7 Kemetic principles. You got to walk away from that, fool. Do you understand what I'm saying? Somebody better talk to me, man.
Islam.
We should be saying Islam, amen, all in this place.
Islam shit.
Real talk. We teaching. We're showing you what's universal.
Scholarship.
It gotta be. If we're gonna rock out in synchronicity, we removing this belief in this belie system. Oh, you afraid to say who you are, but somebody will tell you who you are and tell you your whole history is some slave, and you come from Africa on a stupid ship. You and your ancestors.
As soon as you start school.
Soon as you start school, man, miss me with that BS. And if you mad how I'm saying it, I'm telling you just like that. Miss me with that. Miss me with that. And I have education. I debunked it.
They show you roots when you're in school. They show you immediately.
Yeah, and that's bull crap. And Alex Haley plagiarized that from a European named Harold Colander. You see how messed up we are, Noble Dantes? When I can prove this, they show you this roots, and these misnomered black professors talk about what they call it, required learning, for you to take their class to talk about some stupid roots, which is some Negro-centric propaganda BS. Alex Haley plagiarized that from a European named Harold Colander. There's a book called The African. These facts, and people be mad. Go have a seat. Go have a seat, Noble Dantes. Don't teach your kid no lie. You teach them to be upright, operate in the parameters of the law, which we have the right to do. We have the right to stand strong. We ain't breaking no law. We ain't here to overthrow no government. We giving you what's already been written. What are you talking about? People credit God for natural disasters, but investigations can be done to determine the actual, the actual physical or natural causes. And the invisible God does not make it rain. Rain is produced from a well-known process known as what? The water cycles. So when people talk about osmosis, no, we just break it down to 7 comedic principles. What? We're talking about cause and effect. We're not idiots out here operating. It's a cause and an effect for everything. And it's an effect for every cause. Do y'all rock with that, Islam?
Islam.
Come on now.
Islam.
This ain't rocket science. In essence, nothing can be proven to be supreme over the Asiatic man, while believers will claim that their feelings is proof enough. Nobody don't care about nobody's feelings. They don't care about yours. People's feelings have never proven anything. People have felt the presence of ghosts, aliens, witches, warlocks, mermaids, imaginary friends, Santa Claus. Many of these people have been very adamant, even forceful about having others believe what they believe in. But does that prove it as real? No. The Asiatic man is the God of the scripture. Why? I just showed y'all one of the books. How can I be biased if I'm showing you this? The black man, the father of civilization, proven by biblical history. I'm showing you what good. Here you go, right here in my hand. Anybody that's upset with what I'm saying, prove me from scholarship wrong. Prove me from biblical research wrong. You can't. But this the first thing, color don't matter. Color, why it don't matter? If you did all the work to destroy it and to say the black man is the slave and say the Negro is a beast, and we know the derogatory nature of the word Negro, black, and color, African American, you should feel proud of me speaking like this. When everybody talk, well, what Jesus gonna save us? Okay, we get that, but we ain't dissing the scriptures. We're not gonna let nobody else tell our story. Why? Why should we? Why? The God of all religious tradition has been an Asiatic man. The authors of the scripture recorded numerous instances where God is described either as a man. Genesis 2. Man, it's too many scriptures. It's just too much. Or man himself. One of the words used for God in the Old Testament is Elohim, which means gods in Hebrew. Actually, Elohim is plural of Elo, a popular name for the God of the Old Testament. Elo, E-L-O-H, or El, or Il, is merely a botched transliteration of the original Hebrew name. The vowels points were added later, changing the A or the Alf to E, and thus turning the Al or Allah into El or E-L-O-H. This was the work of the Jewish Masoretes, scribes who were given the task of rewriting and editing the Pentateuch by hand around the 6th century AD. And this can be researched. This can be found in several texts on the history of the Bible. See, the word Elohim, A-L-A-H-I-M, or Elohim, E-L-O-H-I-M, is also used to refer to the group of men who were regarded as the leaders of the Hebrew people, the judges. The other popular term for God in the Old Testament was what? YHWH. YHWH is not meant to be pronounced as Jehovah. It can't. That's a replacement. You can't get Jehovah out YHWH. Are y'all rocking with me? And if any Jehovah Witness get on here with that misunderstanding, I'm gonna get your old book and I'm gonna show you. There's no disrespect. I'm gonna get your old book, the one that was before it was rewritten. Before it was rewritten, I'm gonna go get your, I hear a lot of background.
there was never a J in the Hebrew dialect.
Nope. I'm gonna get their little blue book before they changed it and before they re-edited it. Because I already did it before, and I'll be waiting for them to do that because they know this. They know this. The term for God in the Old Testament is YHWH. YHWH is not meant to be pronounced as Jehovah. YHWH, when written in Hebrew from top to bottom, it represents what? The form of man. I keep showing y'all when a lot of words, we can put them together and make words. When you get that YHWH, is going to form a man. I'm telling you, this is very simple. But where we get the Yahweh from, the A and the E, from Adam and Eve, per se, to make the masculine and the feminine. The Yahweh, the masculine and the feminine. But please stay in context. This is why the Tetragrammaton YHWH was referred to as the infallible name, which meant it could not be said per se. Even today, the Orthodox Jews refuse to utter this name. It's because these letters do not represent a phonetic word, but pictorially represents the reality of man, as in a hieroglyph. They can't deny what we're saying right here, Noble Dantes. They can be mad, but don't nobody care about nobody's feelings once again. Stand strong. Similarly, the name Allah, which has made its forms and origins among the misnomer blacks and the misnomer Arabs, A-R-A-B, because we know what the ancient A-R-A-P is, the ancient Arab, and Mecca to the pre-Columbian misnomer blacks of America, and the first misnomer black slaves, and finally to the mainstream misnomer blacks in America, is a name best understood in the present context of arm, leg, arm, head. The name Allah was also used as the word for man amongst the Asiatic people of ancient Harappan civilization in India. And the New Testament message is clear. Jesus, aka Yahshua, a misnomer black man, an Asiatic man, Revelation 1 and 15, attempts to redeliver a message of righteousness to the people. And one can see upon a thorough reading of the Bible that this message is not about praising and worshiping him, John 14 and 12, but about maintaining the God within and improving their lives. Yahshua explains to his followers that they are gods. Also, John 10 and 34, but to no avail. The people insist on following him and making him their God. See, it's another article on Christianity and the misnomer Black Christ, can be found on the internet and in scriptures. Even the Quran, Allah is described as having a face that believers will see in the last days. The Quran makes mention of Allah's hand being tied down, but otherwise the Neoplatonic influence of Islam is strong. Still, Allah makes Adam out of black mud to be his Khalifa or vicegerent on earth. A vicegerent is a successor responsible for handling the duties of the predecessor. And the concept of Allah, as man in early Islam is detailed in another article. You want to say something, Noble?
No, I was saying the word jet. When you look it up, when you look at the etymology of jet, it goes back to like dark soot.
Yep. Come on, Noble. It's no disrespect to no one. Nearly all religion and spiritual tradition teaches the doctrine of God as man and man as God. This paradigm, however, is usually reserved for the esoteric hidden side of the teachings. But see, here at the BBT, I teach you the SO and the XO. For example, there is a mainstream Christianity, and then there is Gnostic Christianity, which teaches of man as God and God as man. Islam has Sufism, Judaism has the Kabbalah, Buddhism, has the Hinayana school, and Hinduism has the tradition found in the Upanishads, which is all in the Morse Quran, which I give you, the Aventus. It's all in our Morse Quran. You can't be no sheikh and no adapt and no teacher and not know this. And then all the old ancient documents that have been proven by those that was in those times. You about to go? Yeah. You about to go, baby? Yeah. All of these are considered the lesser known aspect of these major traditions. Think about this, y'all. And all teach that the Asiatic man is God. Even in African religion, there is a tradition regarding a transcendent God that is removed from human affairs, and the immanent God who is physically present, but people are not allowed to personally see him. Of course, the earlier traditions were very explicit that all of their gods came in the form of men. Remember Godfrey Higgins? I'm giving y'all scholarship. I shared it with Noble Lamarck. Godfrey Higgins, I showed y'all how to download it because the file was too big. Annapolis, I might be pronouncing it wrong. It's AnacalYpsis. It's an old, rare work with several references to the Black Christ. Research what I'm telling you. Nobody can deny what I'm saying. If we were playing chess, checkmate. The misnomer Black Krishna of Hinduism, the misnomer Black Buddha, the Black gods of Egypt, and other Black gods throughout the world. Christianity, the most popular religion among Black gods, was given to Blacks before slavery by European missionaries, employed to soften up the native people's defense. Thus, the saying, first they had the Bible and we had the land. Now we have the Bible and they have the land. Small conflicts were then magnified into full-scale wars, while guns were poured into these countries. Prisoners of war and other kidnapped Blacks then became slaves, no disrespect, of white landowners. These white landowners noticed that the Muslim slaves were always fighting back and leading rebellions. They began systematically stripping Blacks of their old culture, language, history, and traditions, and supplanting these with European ideas and programmed fear. Along with this, they taught their slave Christianity to keep them pacified in hopes of one day attaining heaven after death. The slaves were told, no disrespect again, of a white Jesus, son of a white God, and the white chosen people of God. When I say this, I'm not giving you no disrespect to no different person. I have these conversations with all melanated, different nationalities and people. And it's no disrespect. They were taught to be obedient and serve as slaves and take their beatings. If they rebelled, they go to hell. But if they submit to what was in effect to hell on earth, they'd have heaven after death. And today our practice the same kind of religion on the same premise. Those false pictures of Jesus, which is Yahshua, are not as popular among, say, the misnomer Blacks as they are in Africa. When you go to the continent of Africa, that's why one European preacher that I know, and that's real big, I don't want to say his name, he was like, misnomer Black people stupid. No disrespect. He's like, you got to be that stupid if history proves who you are. He was like, why would you even accept that? But he was like, oh, because your preachers are under something that they ain't going to tell you. No disrespect. No disrespect.
Miseducation.
Yes, I'm telling you. I mean, it's a fact. They're not going, yes, the faith-based, come on all levels, they're not going to do that. They're not going to stand strong and say, hey, man, I'm going to do this from scholarship. And we're going to be we the people. Who? Us. We're going to roll with it until the flesh is gone.
That's the unholy alliance.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes. The world's learned initiates have always regarded the Blackness as the source or original of all people, of all things. Remember Dr. Richard King's, I'm giving y'all scholarship. No one can deny what we're saying here. This is all peer-reviewed scholarly research. I got all this science for y'all. The black dot explains this phenomenon. The Black man's skin typically contains of high concentrations of melanin. I'm not saying nobody else don't have melanin. I didn't say that. So don't be getting all like, well, he said it. No, I didn't say that. I said we typically have a high concentration of melanin, thus giving you a dark appearance. The brain also produces a similar chemical known as neuromelanin, which is vital to the brain processes. Melanin is even present in the atmosphere and throughout the universe in the blackness of space. Research regarding this can be found all over. People usually, Europeans, no disrespect, who are devoid of melanin are more likely to suffer and die from disease like skin cancer. The first man was naturally high in melanin, and dark skin is a natural condition. It's not a curse. The Bible even says that, and they can get mad. I ain't saying it. The Bible tell you your skin ain't a curse. The Bible tell you when you put your hand in the bosom and it came out white as snow, and then you put it back in, it became out to the color it was. So it's telling you that you wasn't white. And I'm just paraphrasing. So we got to be honest with what we're talking about.
No, but when we even go into the scripture and if we analyze and take our time with the Holy Spirit, we see what came first, night or the day.
Yeah.
But even if the night came first, he said, let there be light.
Yeah.
So we're not dealing in disrespect because there's a process to going on, and what is it to be first? But that which comes after it, we enhance.
Yes.
You know, as they say, even if you feel as you nothing, you're that zero, go stand behind that one.
Yes. Yes.
You ain't increase that tenfold. So we not, as BBT, dealing in any disrespect.
Nope.
Dealing in scholarship. But
Yep.
that I say Islam.
Islam. And I did this in academia. This is what I'm telling you. Man, my professors would be like, you the one, you're going to have to go back and teach this. He was like, nobody, he was like, in your history, just doing what you're doing, to go back and teach this to their people, because it's easy for me to keep the same thing. I can be in these churches and saying the same dumb stuff and be a mega preacher, because I know the truth. And it's easy to lie to people that don't know. It's easy. It's easy to get you excited. It's easy. I'm telling you, I know. This is a work that I've been chosen, and others like myself, like y'all, is chosen to do. It's no biasness. It can't be. It can't be. I mean, this is just science. When we talk about melanin and skin tones and things, this is science. How can it be science if we're going to use certain descriptors as white and black? Then now we just talking science. We ain't saying, oh, I'm better than you or this. No, we giving science, but we showing you that if we dealing with science and we dealing with you, well, you got to be from the Creator. Y'all don't hear me? You got to be. White skin is a unnatural anomaly produced by selective breeding, not nature, and that's no disrespect. When you research the chemical key to black greatness or melanin, a key to freedom, all you got to do is read the science. Read the science. I'm not here to disrespect no one, but I'm showing you, you can't let nobody put you down. That's over, because the science goes against all that. And when you go against nature and when you go against science, you are going against yourself. It's nothing no one can say. It's nothing no one can argue. We just don't know, and the lack of knowledge, of lack of wisdom, we doom. And before the creation of the physical universe, Allah was present as the creative intelligence that spawned itself, and began developing all life and matter from an initial atom. This first atom, embedded with the intimate intelligence of God, was Allah, the original man. The Son replaced this atom as the presentation of black and man until ultimately God himself could take dominion over the earth in the flesh. That's just more science. That's just Bible. In the beginning was the Word, right? And the Word was made flesh, right?
Islam.
I mean, what we talk about? See, a Negro will argue with something that they don't even understand. Why would you waste your time? Don't waste your time.
Don't waste your time.
Don't waste your time. That's what I be telling people. A wise man don't argue with fools. A wise man bring people up. And if an unintelligent man don't accept the wise man imparting wisdom, you walk away.
Got to.
You must. Intelligence still exists on a subatomic level, as it is evident from experiments conducted on light particles, which were able to consciously change their course. Man's sperm is consciously able to determine which direction to travel to reach the egg. Think about that. Without a brain. Think about that. Think about that, brothers. This universal, this infinite intelligence is active in its highest form in the individual mind of the Asiatic man. The Asiatic man is the primary conduit for the intelligence that once created the universe, as he is the creator himself. See, I don't get with people and propaganda. I get with the science. I get with science. I don't put no man above no one. You know? But it's been attempts to systematically destroy the Asiatic man. That there is no more to the true nature of the Asiatic man than ex-slaves whose services are no longer needed. No disrespect. While Albions, trailer dyke, no disrespect, have no qualms with promoting education and healthy habits among college-bound black women, black men, have been pushed increasingly toward jails and early death. It's no disrespect. It's no disrespect. I want to give a little bit of the counter arguments because these counter arguments was good. But let me give this little aspect and then we'll get in these counter arguments because this is going to be good. Let's see. Okay. From law enforcement education. Black men are characterized as overly aggressive, mentally inferior, prone to criminal behavior, and wanton violence, devoid of any moral character, and incapable of alleviating their negative circumstances. Throughout the world, the situation is the same for black males. In regions where blacks are the dominant population group, the whole region is usually being ravaged and decimated by war, famine, AIDS, per se, when these factors are still not enough to keep the black population from growing. As was the case in Black India, birth control and forced sterilization, just like you got here. You got those birth control places, and I'll show you what they were created for. Has implemented the global agenda for a type of supremacy, but I don't believe in supremacy. I don't believe in no type of supremacy. So let's talk about these counter arguments as we close, because there's too much to talk about all day, but I want to just talk about a few counter arguments that a person or people or a group will raise and say, well, what about this? Well, what about this? Okay, well, we can deal with a few. There is only one God, not many. As polytheistic as it sounds to say that the Asiatic man are God, the statement is anything but. There is only one God, and that God is the Asiatic man. The Asiatic man is a unified whole, much as the water on the earth is in reality one connected body that is split into different regions or containers. Yes, sir. We share a mind in its highest level. The mind is the one that designed the universe in the language of mathematics and set the processes by which all natural systems will continue to operate. While at our conscious level, many of us are focused on eating and talking. There is a higher level to our consciousness that functions on the wavelength of intelligent design. See, y'all, it sounds racist to say that the black man is God. These what questions say. But okay, if you say that, but why would we say the white man is God? No disrespect. That don't sound racist? Or it don't matter. Well, why is all these different pictures of Tom? No disrespect. God is the original man. Remember, Albert Churchward told you about the primordial man, signs and symbols of the primordial man. Read Albert Churchward, read Gerald Massey books, and then come back and say, and see if I'm saying something biased. The first physical vehicle for God's imminent presence on earth was an Asiatic body. Throughout the universe, blackness prevails as the origin of all things. Black body radiation, black holes, and the presence of melanin in space tells us a great deal. The first humans, of course, were black today. And I'm saying black just to show you this essence, the science. The black man is found throughout the earth in a variety of shades and hues. Many of them are naturally descended of the original black genotype, while others are admixtures, results from misgenerations and grafting per se. Paul Lawrence Guthrie, it's a book, it's called Making of the White Man, no disrespect, documents the creation and exile of these phenotypes, who will forever change the course of human and social development on the planet. This ain't me. Read the science and see, and then research, because it's there for you to look at. Numerous theories abound as to the origins of the so-called different race, none of them entirely plausible. The vast differences between, say, white people and black people could only result from selective breeding. It ain't no disrespect. Science, because remember, as Darwin noted, y'all know this, everybody, y'all remember Darwin noted not from any evolutionary process, and certainly not simply due to the cold weather, as Africa presence in early Europe by Ivan van Sertima documents that the presence of blacks having lived in Arctic regions for thousands of years without their skin lightening. At any rate, the statement of black godhood is a positive statement and one of affirmation, not of condemnation of other people. Islam? It's not. Then they say it sounds chauvinist to say that black man is God. Okay, well, just as the sun and the moon occupy important places and roles in the solar system, so do man and woman. An immersed body, Islam, Noble, Islam. I mean, we're not saying nothing biased. An immersed body of scientific research details the scientific, physical, mental, emotional, and social differences between males and females. Stating that the black man is God is not meant to degrade or debase the black woman, but to affirm his role and not take anything away from hers. God represents the creative force in the universe. In all scriptural and mythological accounts, God shows somehow, impregnates either the earth, the celestial void, or the blackness of space to produce life and or the universe. Look at this science. The planting of the seed would be futile without the fertile soul in which to plant it. And early mythology related the woman to the earth, the receiver and the bearer of life. Many of these ancient societies eventually abandoned the worship of the black god, the father god, as he was described as distant and unconcerned with human affairs. Instead, the focus shifted to the earth mother, who was celebrated and praised for her fertility and the sustenance she provided. Today, we refer to the black woman as a queen, as the mother of civilization, as the earth. What time is it? We got a little bit more and we're gonna wrap this up. There is no God. Okay. Several authors have addressed the debate between intelligent design and the possibility that this universe, this earth, and humanity were the products of chance and coincidence. The likelihood of just one atom simply phasing into existence by chance is so remote, nobles, it can't be calculated fairly. The evidence of intelligent design is greater, nobles. However, it doesn't point to the immaterial, invisible God of the creationists, but to the culmination of God on earth. Stay with me. The black man as its source. Much as a computer programmer can be written to repeat in cycles or concentric spirals of activity, history has followed a natural set of laws and patterns to produce this exact stage of development. The original writer for this program or history was the infinite. Since the beginning, the black mind, present in the ultimate final black man, an examination of history will lead one to question the probability of coincidental events, the aligning of real events and prophecy, the cycle or spiral nature of all development, and why on earth is the same spiral that one can find in the formation of the universe galaxies and the currents of the earth's waters present in our own fingerprints. You ain't ever thought about this? Think about what I'm saying. We're going to do this last look perspective. The Asiatic man can't be God, or the black man wouldn't be living in such depraved conditions. Okay. This argument appears to make a great deal of sense. Why on earth would God be dancing around on beat like a clown, flashing guns and money amidst a bunch of giant, scantily clad women? I get that. Yes, sir. Or why would God be trapped in the slums in an abject poverty with the highest incarceration rates in the country, failing to educate himself or uplift his people, and instead choosing to drink, smoke, and do all these things? Well, for beginners, this deplorable image of the black man is, in great part, more of a constructive of the media than an accurate representation of the global misnomer black man. The misnomer black man is a unified whole, comprised of people of color from all over the world, representing a multitude of different behaviors, attitude, lifestyles. Don't let nobody talk about we some crabs in a bucket. Don't be letting nobody get you with that. No crabs grow up in no bucket. People put crabs in a bucket. Don't let nobody to compare you to none that fictitious. This is what I'm telling brothers and sisters. We are not going to let nobody compare us to some fictitious. No, you can't get along. That's you. That's your corrupt ways. The result of this system in America have especially tragic. And that's what I'm saying about the confusion. You know, it's a lot that we done. So I just want to end right there. You know, the way of the superior man can be found in its simple elements in the intercourse of common men and women, but its uttermost reaches, it shines brightly through the heaven on earth. That's Confucius. There's so many quotes of the man being made in the image of the creator. It's so many references that we have, you know? So I want to stop right there because I don't want to, be too long. I just want to go for an hour. Any questions, brothers and sisters? Anything we want to add? And like I'm saying, we're not here to be biased with no one. What we're showing you is to look up some things, question history, because it's to be questioned if it comes from scholarship. That's when the shift's going to change. And there's so much information in this document. So I give y'all credit and love. And as we go on, it's work we got to do. It's work we got to do.
Islam. Gratitude for the scholarship. Gratitude for the guidance. Just being a man. Islam.
Gratitude, man, for y'all being brothers, man, and trusting me. And let's just keep going on, man, in the world of hate. Man, all we can do is spread love and wisdom. And that's what more science is. And we're going to always be a good representation of a clean glass. We're going to always be a good representation of a clean glass. And we ain't going nowhere. Like DMX said, we right here. We ain't going nowhere. And with that, I say Islam, peace, and love, nobles.
Islam. And I just also wanted to add that, for any of those who are listening and watching us, it's okay to just open your mind up to what we're saying here today. It's okay to not understand, why you were called black since birth. But the information is out there, the research is out there to understand that it's all pseudo. We need to understand what was our original name, who are we, what are our beginnings, and it's not physical. So what are we? And the research is out there. So just continue to tap in to the BBT. Honors to you, Sheik, for teaching and preaching and putting his word out there. It's totally fine to be confused. And if this is the first time you've heard this information, it was like that for a lot of us. For myself personally, hearing this information for the first time years ago. I just wanted to understand myself more, and you should too. So just continue to tap into what we're teaching. Islam.
Islam to that. Gratitude for that. And I can just add on to that, and just to encourage again any of those that are under the sound of our voices, and looking at this as a way to grow Islam, because it can be daunting, as Noble Dante just put forth, that when you are learning information that maybe some have never heard from this perspective, you are discouraged as you walk on your journey to a knowledge of yourself. But we are here to encourage you. This is a resurrection. This is not a conversion. It's a resurrection. So we have to be mindful of our ways and actions. And as we grow, understand that there has to be patience, right? You can't have all doctrine, right? You have to be sick, and there has to be a reason for them to come to see the doctor. So this is absolutely necessary as we demonstrate this by the grace of Allah. And to some, this might be an intellectual journey. That's what we're demonstrating. But the BBT always said that the divine comes first. And we're here to clear up the line that draws divinity through divinity and matter, and make that one, as man and Allah is one. So we want to encourage you to say that this is also a spiritual walk. Although you may have discussed scholarship on an intellectual level, the divine comes first. With that, I say peace and love.
Brian, you got anything, Noble? Noble Brian, you got anything, Noble, as we close?
Just Islam and gratitude as always for the fellowship, for the wisdom, you know what I'm saying, for the edification. And just invite anybody or any of the viewers or listeners to come on in, you know, be a part and, you know, eat some of this good food. That's it.
Islam. And we invite everybody, man. We had yesterday a book club. Noble Moso broke some wisdom down. It's very important. And like I said, we give history. We want us to be proud of who we are and showing this great history and legacy to show there's nothing wrong with standing up strong today, understanding who you are, and not letting nobody else name you. And the greatness that we are as a people when we do things the right way. And it's a group of Moors, it's a group of brothers that's doing it the right way. We've been doing it the right way. We're not no sovereign citizens. We're not here to overthrow no government. We don't drive around without no license. We don't have no special document that's going to make you magically disappear and all your crimes is going to be voided. None of that. And that's why a lot of brothers, you know, when they come to this science and I tell the truth and I show them that, hey, I don't know what you saw on the internet from these others and you think is real, but it's not. And so we a real group of brothers that you got to clean yourself up dealing with us. And if not, you won't be dealing with us. Why? Because your lower self is going to always whoop you, especially when you get into some science thinking you're going to overthrow or come in with hate. And this is when you get into something that's supposed to be good, like Noble Brian says, some food, it's supposed to be edifying to your soul and your spirit to make you better, not to make you combative, not to make you angry, not to make you a person that nobody want to deal around, not to make you always talk about you suing somebody. Suing somebody for what? You don't have nothing. You have nothing. And I'm so disgusted, you know, as we close, I'm just so tired of these Moors all on the video, all they do is talk about they suing or they got some law case. Some law case for what? To do what? Why are you even in court? What are you trying to prove? You should be doing what the BBT doing. You should be doing what the BBT doing, purchasing land and getting it for a nice price and sitting on it and then watching it fluctuate, doing things as a group, as a body, doing real things, not going around begging, want some welfare. We don't want no welfare. We want to be at the starting line equally. We want to be known as a people. We don't need nobody to give us nothing. Understand that. And that's who we are. We don't want nothing given. We are people. We want what's rightly ours. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Islam?
Islam.
And with that, I say amen, man. I say Islam, and just gratitude for each one of y'all. And let's just keep grinding. Peace. I know Alonzo, we can do our Moorish American prayer. Alonzo, you take us out with our benediction if you don't mind, Noble.
Islam.
Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation by night and by day. Who is holy prophet, Noble True Ali. Shalom Malakim, Ayan Shai, Hotep, Islam, Amen. Peace, 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 peace.
Peace, peace, peace. Our Taliban benediction reads as follows. May the benediction of Allah be upon thee and thine always, as thou shalt strive to be a credit to Allah. Make haste to bestow thine acts of love upon thy brethren. Do the best to shun thine evil ones. Remember, take suckle from the breast of knowledge, wisdom, fortitude, charity, love, and all standards, that you might nourish the souls of men. Let truth be the shield in the manifest battle of falsehood. Know that more ye not keep the locks of the gates of paradise by the means of petty or criminal death. For behold, the key to salvation is already ready in thine own hands. And yes, even though a portion of our nature is weakness, instability, and inconsistency, there still is the greater part of our nature that is divine. May Allah protect thee, guide thee, preserve thee, lengthen thy age, give thee everlasting peace. Al-Rahman, Al-Rahim, Al-Haq, Ya Muhammad. And at the BBT, when we say Al-Haq, that's one of the illustrious attributes of Allah, and it stands for the truth. And when we say Ya Muhammad, that's another illustrious attribute of Allah, and it stands for the protector. We see ourselves as truth protectors. And we cast our net out for all true and divine light seekers to come and join on to us, for the truth has no sides, for the truth is one, as man is with Allah. And with that, we say peace and love. Islam. Peace, peace,
peace, peace, peace, peace, peace, peace, peace, peace, peace, peace. Peace, Noble Dre Shaw. Peace, Noble Dre Shaw. Peace, Tribe. Peace, Moso. Peace, everybody. Love y'all, man. Peace.
Come on, son.
Books with a Z.
Once again, this broadcast has been brought to you by mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z, where reading funds the mental. Also brought to you by binditbooks.com, where treasures are bound. Be sure to check out Mayat Son's teas for Bind and Prepare, the tea of teas, at herbsofmayat.com. And check out bhbaymusic.com for the music of Brian Hicks Bailey. And be sure for all of your everyday items and religious regalia to check out morrishaberdasher.com. And for that everyday especial Morris Drip, check out morsachi.com. And all of these companies are powered by ALO Design Pros. Design your online business strategy today.
Peace. I'm a spirit. Sing it.
I'm a spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seed sowing, harvest reaping, man with me. I have yet to leave, I'm still breathing. To quit, I have no reason. I'm asleep, but I be trying to live my dream. I cannot even act if it's all easy. Either you gon' do it or you don't really. It ain't no in between, baby. You can ask the sun, it's an everyday theme. Consistency in your routine is how you bring reality.
Working like a, that's how I make this masterpiece. Living like a god, I live at night, I rest in peace.
They remember me, but I am not around.
Woo. All right. Peace. Peace.